If you guys want the chance to win yourselves a Megalodon Shark card for the Gunrunning update, click the link in the description to enter. What's up guys, my name is Chaotic and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be discussing all the confirmed vehicles included in the up-and-coming Gunrunning update and comparing them to their real-life variants. Now as of right now, Rockstar have only revealed 12 vehicles with us, but according to leaked information, there could be upwards of 17 vehicles with this update. However, do bear in mind, we may not receive all of these vehicles on day one. Rockstar often hold back a few vehicles to release at a later time, usually through special events. So all the vehicles that have been shown off so far will be the ones available from day one. But who knows, there might be a few others the Rockstar haven't shown us yet and may also be available next week when the update's released. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. With that being said though, let's go ahead then and get straight into things and take a look first of all at the armoured SUV. So this vehicle was first shown off a few days ago in the trailer that Rockstar released. Unfortunately, we haven't got an official name for this vehicle as of yet, and it was only shown off in the trailer for a few brief seconds, pulling the machine gun trailers. But nevertheless, it is a very cool looking vehicle in my opinion, and I myself am very much looking forward to buying this one in game. Most importantly though, this vehicle is based upon the Combat T98 in real life, and as you guys can see, they are very similar in terms of their design. And interestingly enough, in real life, there is also a pickup truck variant of this vehicle, so who knows, maybe in game, we'll also receive a pickup truck variant of this vehicle. I know Rockstar hasn't suggested it yet, and they haven't showed us anything like this, but like I said, Rockstar has only showed us so far 12 of the 17 possible vehicles in this update, so who knows, maybe a pickup truck variant of this vehicle will account for one of those unannounced vehicles, and I guess this vehicle then would be very similar to the Insurgent, where we'd have both an SUV and pickup truck variant available in-game. But this though is just speculation. So let's move on then to the next vehicle, and up next of course is the anti-air missile version of the new APC. Now of course this APC in particular was first introduced into the Grand Theft Auto series in GTA 4's Ballad of Gay Tony DLC, and in all fairness this is one of the vehicles which has been highly requested over the past few years, and at last is finally being added into GTA 5. Now this APC is based upon the Soviet BRDM, and here is an image of that vehicle, and as you guys can see, it is very similar. Now of course we're also receiving a machine gun turret version of this vehicle. Rockstar have only shown this vehicle off once so far in an image on the newswire, and here is a photo of its real life variant. Again, a cool looking vehicle and one which I'm sure you guys are very much looking forward to seeing in game. Moving on though to one of my personal favourites, the Rockstar has revealed with us so far in the up and coming Gunrunning update, this of course being the new version of the Duneloader, and although Rockstar hasn't really given us a good look around this vehicle as of yet, just from what we have seen in the small and fairly distant glimpses, this vehicle just looks absolutely insane, and it has so many very cool customizations and modifications, making this very different to the standard and basic version of the Duneloader currently available in game. Now of course some of the most recognizable changes being the tank tracks on the back of the vehicle, the huge turret on the top, the armored plating, but there's much more all around this vehicle. This vehicle though is heavily based upon the M3 half-track from real life, which was first used and commissioned in World War II, and as you guys can see in this particular image of the M3 half-track, there are loads of similarities between these two vehicles, not just the obvious ones like the turret and the tracks, but the small features on this vehicle such as the jerry can on the sides, the shovels and so on. Up next is the weaponized dune buggy, and of course this one is also highly modified in comparison to the standard version available in-game. Some of the obvious modifications being the turret on the passenger side of the vehicle, we've also got a shovel and an axe on the hood, the extensions on the side as well, with a lot of props and items in there. Surprisingly though, this vehicle is remarkably similar to the US Army Chinook in real life. And as you guys can see in this image, they are pretty much identical, with the headlights up front. We've got the side baskets, the passenger side turrets, the only real difference being this buggy is a 3-seater with an additional turret on the roof, whereas of course the version in GTA by the looks of things will not have this, but nevertheless it is certainly very similar. And who knows, maybe this third seat and this second turret will be a customization option we can fit to this, or maybe a second variant altogether. Moving on though to what could possibly be one of the most customizable new vehicles in this update, this of course being the new variant of the Tampa, and in this image alone the Rockstar revealed on the newswire last week, you guys can see the two vehicles have some very different customizations fitted to them. For starters, the vehicle on the right hand side only has one turret on the roof, whereas the vehicle on the left hand side has two. The vehicle on the left hand side also has rockets sticking out at the front bumper, whereas the vehicle on the right hand side doesn't. The car on the left hand side also has some form of smokescreen device or flare launcher on the back of the car. I'm not really too sure what it is, but I'm sure you guys get the point. And it also has a slightly different hood as well on the front of the car. Now of course the base version of this car is highly inspired by the 1970s Dodge Dart Demon in real life, whereas the version which Rockstar are going to be sharing with us in the Gunrunning update, as far as I'm aware of, doesn't exist. I looked around, I couldn't find any movies though where something similar to this was even featured. If you guys know of anything or might have any suggestions, of course let me know in the comments section, but by the looks of things, Rockstar have completely created this vehicle themselves. Moving on though to something else which I know you guys are also very much looking forward to, that being both the new truck, the Packer, and the Mobile Operations Center. Now in all fairness, what we've seen of both of these vehicles, they look extremely cool, and I myself am also very much looking forward to seeing these in game. And when most people saw this in the trailer, they instantly presumed it was very similar to the trailer and the truck that we saw in Fast and Furious 7. So many people believe that this truck and trailer is based upon that in Fast and Furious 7, but you'd be wrong. In fact, I found something almost identical that was featured in a movie named Universal Soldier that was released back in 1992, and as you guys can see in this particular image, the two vehicles are almost identical. So it's very clear that the truck and the mobile control center are in fact heavily inspired by this truck that featured in Universal Soldier. After all, the truck itself is almost identical in the terms of its design and the modifications, and the mobile operations center is very similar as well. And from my understanding, although I haven't actually watched Universal Soldier, this truck and trailer was actually used as a mobile operations center in the movie. Now from what Rockstar has shown us so far, there'll most likely be a choice of trucks we can choose from to tow the mobile operations center around the map, and the other one that Rockstar showed off on the newswire last week, of course, was the Phantom. Now this truck in my opinion is nowhere near as cool looking as the new version of the Packer, but nevertheless in real life it's based upon the Peterbilt 359. Anyway, moving on though to the turret trailers. Now of course there are two of these that will be available in this update. The first one that's being shown off right now in the video is of course the machine gun turret, and the second variant is an anti-air missile launcher. Now as I'm sure you guys would agree, both of these are extremely cool. I myself love the concept, and also bear in mind as well, this is the first time we'll have the option to purchase a trailer in game. Now the machine gun turret is based upon the M51 trailer in real life, and here is an image of that, and as you guys can see, although they aren't quite identical, they're certainly very similar. Then moving on to the anti-air missile trailer. Now this one doesn't technically have an official in real life variant, but I guess the closest in real life variant would be the British military Rapier, and here is an image of this one. Now, this one isn't manually controlled as it is in GTA 5, you guys can see it has a remote system on it, but nevertheless, it's as similar as it gets. Anyway, moving on though to the final few vehicles, and up next is the jet bike. Again, unfortunately, as of right now, we haven't got an official name for this one. Rockstar hasn't shared this with us, and it hasn't been leaked anywhere as far as I'm aware of. This vehicle, though, from what we've seen so far in the trailer, will be extremely cool. So like the Rocket Voltic, it will have a jet engine boost option. It also has wings, so we might be able to glide or at least fly for a few seconds in midair. And from what we saw in the trailer, it also has rockets as well. I'm guessing it'll be limited to maybe 2 or 4, but nevertheless a very cool feature. Now, unsurprisingly, one of these does not exist in real life, but in 2011 a concept of something very similar to this was released, and it was named the Bullet, and here is an image of that vehicle right now, and in some ways it is very similar. It has the wings, it has a jet engine on the back, it doesn't quite fire rockets though. This was made or at least designed for civilian use, not World War III, nevertheless though very similar. And finally, the last vehicle to finish this video off is of course the buggy. Now as of right now, we've only seen images and gameplay of this being driven around in the underground bunkers, so we aren't really too sure if this vehicle is even viable yet or usable in free mode outside of our bunkers. In my opinion, it's one of those vehicles that wouldn't be very useful anyway, so it might just be used as transport around the bunkers. If that's the case, that is pretty cool in my opinion. And this vehicle is based upon and near enough identical to the Cushman Titan in real life. Now apart from the Cushman Titan being electric in real life, there isn't really a huge amount to be said about this one. So there we go then guys, those are all the vehicles that Rockstar have released or at least announced with us so far that will be included in the Gunrunning update. But as I mentioned earlier on, according to leaked information, there are still a few other vehicles which Rockstar haven't announced with us yet and will most likely be released at a later point through special events. Anyway, but those are all the vehicles then, and their real-life variants. I of course want to get your thoughts and feelings on all of these. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on them, and which ones are your favourites. Which ones are you guys going to buy first as soon as they're available next week? So go ahead and leave a comment on this video. If you guys could also drop a like as well, that would be greatly appreciated, and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. And don't forget, right now I'm doing a shark card giveaway. If you guys want to enter, just click the link in the description and go from there. With that being said though guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.